Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi. Uh, Future Arc. Forgot what it's called. It's been a little bit for me. If you only follow Higurashi and you don't follow the rest of the channel, you might have known that, or you might not have known that I taught COVID, so we're kind of doing a stuff schedule this week. Obviously I missed Tuesday, so it's only a oneer this week. I want to get back to the normal schedule next week, but we'll see. It's been a while. I was planning on recording because I am recording some of the other series, but the thing with Higurashi is, and like the main thing with COVID, most of my symptoms healed besides like my throat. So sometimes, or my respiratory stuff in general. So like, at least in my mind, Higurashi is like the hardest one to record since it's reading. So I wanted it to be more up to my strength. So I haven't read this in a while. It's been like maybe 3 weeks, oh god, or 2 weeks at least. I do remember last time we just arrived at Higurashi, or we're entering it with Miyuki. It turns out Miyuki might not be a journalist, and she's entering for her own means, as expected, because it's Miyuki. So we'll see what's up with that. I do remember the recent comment by Fawful to check out the true ending first to just avoid spoilers, so we'll just do that. Let's be honest, every fun fact, both in Mayatashi and Sumi Horoboshi, where they actually had a bad ending thing, I actually got both of the bad endings before the true endings. Not on purpose too, I just chose wrong, so let's be honest, I probably would have got the bad ending, so when that hits, we'll do that, but yeah, let's get into this. Miyuki-chan let out a heavy sigh after saying that. Visibility was poor because of the thick clouds littering the sky, but somehow I could make out the abandoned houses, dilapidated buildings, and overgrown foliage that may have been an open field in the past. This village has been off limits for over 20 years thanks to the poison gas released in the disaster. The ban was only recently lifted. Arakawa, that's our dude's name. Mr. Paranormal Investigator. Or research, or like journalist, I guess I should say. Miyuki-chan quizzically turned to me with her head tilted to the side. Surprised by her reaction, I had to ask. I need a recheck. Oh, no signs of human life. But Miyuki-chan didn't respond. The two of us reluctantly stared down at the abandoned village. Was there something strange about an abandoned village not showing any signs of human activity? Oh, weird sound effect. Classic console art sound effect. It might actually be serious, not just funny, even though that was a very funny sound. Just then I noticed a light coming from the corner of the village where nobody should be. Uh-oh. On you. Are you partying by yourself? Oh. Miyuki-chan's face quickly grew tense. The exceptionally sharp gaze in her eyes made me flinch. Miyuki-chan stared intently in the direction of the village. But the only thing standing before our eyes was a village bathed in darkness. So I'm wondering, like, it's either two things. Either Akasaka died in Hinamizawa, but I don't even think it needs to be that, because we already know post route where Akasaka is just not at Hinamizawa, he devotes, like, the rest of his adult... Well, we don't know how hard he goes, and I assume he goes really hard, especially after the post-Sumi Horoboshi, where you see him at an older age with, like, his squad, like, investigating Hinamizawa. So I'm suggesting... I I'm guessing that like Miyuki grew up with that sort of environment, so she's kind of made it her life work too, now that she's an adult, to find out what happened in Hinamizawa. Or, the darker path is somehow Akasaka died there, so she wants answers too, if you want to make it a little edgier. But we'll see. The passing rain began to build in intensity, causing the village devoid of streetlights to grow even darker. I turned to walk back toward the car, but Miyuki-chan remained still. No. Miyuki-chan pondered something for a moment, then rushed over and grabbed me by the arm. Even though her sudden aggressive behavior left me lost and confused, that sentiment vanished the moment I caught a glimpse of her expression. She wasn't looking for help. In fact, it was the complete opposite. The ghosts. The Hanyu. Yeah, that's literally Hanyu. Sorry, she's just vibing. Unless is it Hawuin? Then that's a Rena ghost. Her love for cute things has anchored her to the mortal world, and she haunts Hinamizawa in the dump site, forever scouring for cute things. Anyway, sorry, I'm memeing too hard. I skipped a line. I frantically looked back and forth, but I couldn't see any signs of human activity, just the hum of the rain as it struck the grass. Oops. Suddenly Miyuki-chan turned backwards. I, too, scrambled to turn around. The sound effects, dude. But the only thing in the road was the car we drove here in. Ooh. Never mind. No, I believe it. Maybe, I mean, I know we were memeing, but if our boy Arakawa saw some lights in the village, then maybe there is someone living here. I don't know exactly what it would be. Maybe it's some remnants of Tokyo, just like, just to make sure people don't somehow find out the truth. Though you'd think they would get rid of anything that would point to the truth, but it could be something like that, I guess. I couldn't bring myself to say, "That's right." The words from my father's diary suddenly came back to me. Excuse me? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm a little rusty, right? Arakawa's father's the fucking journalist Keiichi cursed, and then he died, like Keiichi said, for whatever reason. That was Hanyu's final gift to Keiichi. Sorry you got fucked up. Here, I'll kill this guy for you, Keiichi. So you really can feel like you're powerful. Some massive enigmatic power must be lurking in that village. A magical power capable of dragging the living to the land of the dead. No way. Could a deceased person from this village be calling out to us? Hawoo, hawoo. That's impossible, right? I put my hand on the door to let myself into the car once again. Then I stopped for a moment and decided to step over to the driver's seat. Oh man. I'm on a roll today. Let's get going. Oh wait, why am I reading? I'm flooded? I mean, they just got here. Why are they leaving already? Or are they just like... I guess like it is raining kind of hard. I guess they're just chilling in the car and they can find a better spot. They aren't necessarily leaving. Yeah, they were just probably driving in and this was the lookout spot, right? A little sketchy. Okay. She had a smile on her face, but her tone was firm. Yeah, she wants to take the reins. After Miyuki-chan's stubborn refusal, she sat down in the driver's seat. Then I climbed into the passenger seat and the car slowly started moving again. Miyuki-chan didn't say a single word after that. We hit a body. No more than a kilometer later, the car came to a sudden halt. Much like before, I stumbled forward and the seatbelt dug into my shoulder. I called out to her again, but Miyuki-chan kept her foot on the brake with a nervous look on her face. Uh-oh. Car? Van? She quietly nodded, then pointed out. A mid-sized car was parked right in front of us. Okay. Actual car. Maybe it is just someone looking. Who, though? Well, everyone's dead, so... I don't know. It's Oishi. Bido, though he must be fucking ancient by now, but... even in the rain and without any moonlight, the car's body shined against the darkness. I took off my seatbelt and stepped out of the car. Miyuki-chan left the car idling and followed my lead. Or do we finally get to see Takano's premiere? 3 arcs in, though I kind of doubt it. I doubt that they let her live, but... Copium. Maybe. Bruh. That's a shitty parking spot right on the road. Well, yeah, obviously it's not a resident of the village, or from that time at least. They're all dead, bro. That's a little stretch. I've got a bad feeling about this. Nothing good can come from something like that. I'm all stuffed up, boys. Sorry, that's blowing my nose ASMR. Just a special treat. Kinda helps, but not really. I mean, like, I don't know, man. I feel it's like urban exploring. I feel like going to abandoned places is like fun. It's like something I would do if it wasn't like illegal. So we just settle for YouTube videos, but I can see it as a hobby. I'd glance at my wristwatch. It is kind of sketchy though, for sure. Mainly the fucking license plates is like the most sketchy. 9:30 p.m. What would a car be doing here at this hour? Brave. Sensing the foreboding atmosphere, Miyuki-chan shut off the engine and headed out. I popped open the dashboard and grabbed a flashlight, then quickly followed after Miyuki-chan. Just as I got close to the car, my bad feelings started nagging even worse. All the windows were covered in packing tape. What the fuck? I pointed my flashlight at the car's interior. There were 3 people inside the car. Their heads were leaning back against the seats. Yeah, I think a murder happened. I don't think it's Oishi anymore. They had a light pink tone on their face. Their complexion looked good. But down on their feet sat a charcoal grill. Huh? Wait, am I... What is happening? Okay, yeah, they're real people. Okay. Yeah, it's dead bodies. Okay. I thought I misread, and I thought he was talking about like those dumb drawings on people's windows, but no, those are literal people. Anyways, charcoal. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, they're fucking killing them by smoking them in the tar. I pounded on the window. I thought they were just. I don't know what was happening. Charcoal in the ground. That makes a lot more sense. I thought they were like dead, and like the charcoal part was just some weird description of like blood or guts. But no, they're literally being smoked alive. I pounded on the window several times, but the people inside the car kept sleeping and they didn't move at all. They might be dead. Banman. I could feel the heat from inside the car radiating through the window. Miyuki-chan moved over to the door, but the door clattered as she tried to open it. Smart. Do they have like a tire iron or something? Yeah, well, they have a toolbox that's actually just good enough. I ran back to her car and grabbed the toolbox. The tools clattered inside as I picked them up. A group suicide? This is serious. But the people in the car still have color to their faces. Okay. So, maybe alive. I'm not sure how long that grill has been lit, but there's still a chance we can save them. I desperately sifted through the tools, clinging to the faintest hope. Eventually, I found a heavy wrench, then stopped through a puddle as I rushed back to the locked car. When I got back, I couldn't see Miyuki-chan. Where did she go? She should be right here. I ran over to the side of the door and firmly planted my feet. But just then... Even though I stopped, did I hear one footstep? Uh-oh. We're L5-ing. Even though Hanyu's TP'd to another universe. It doesn't make sense that... does it make sense that the virus is still active? Despite it being years since quarantine? You'd think it would die out without any hosts. Interesting. I guess it's not like that kind of parasite. It's just like... You just kind of get it from being there, so... Oh, don't hit her. I lit behind me. Yet nobody was there. But also, I guess the L5, that could just be paranoia. Because, like, it's a little confusing because sometimes in Higurashi, the extra footsteps literally haunt you, following you. But other times it can just be your mind playing tricks on you from the enhanced paranoia. So obviously it's paranoia because Hanyu should be chilling with Rika in another dimension right now. But, yeah. Maybe it was my imagination? It has to be. Still, where did Miyuki-chan go? At any rate, I lifted the wrench overhead and swung it down toward the window. I heard a dull thud, but the window didn't even crack. Really? I actually don't know how hard it is to break a car window. I guess it would be really hard for the front. I don't know about the sides. I guess it would be the same probably. But it gets so chipped easily. Yeah, I feel like windows get chipped so easily. How does a wrench hit not break it? Or at least crack it. Bam, bam. We need Miyuki. She probably has the karate genes to just break it. I struck the window with my wrench multiple times. I expected the glass to shatter after a single blow, so I was surprised by how much I struggled. But after several more blows... Crash. At last the window shattered. But as soon as it did, my head began to ache and I started feeling dizzy. Yeah, if it's all like just been compiling in the car. Once you let it out, it's just on a blasty, man. Carbon monoxide must be leaking out of the broken window. Yeah, I'm dying. I mean, I'm not dying like those guys, but choking up a bit. I fucking knew. I honestly, yeah. This is why I was avoiding reading Higurashi. We'll go for a bit though. It's bearable, but yeah, it'll be another shorty episode. Just as long as we get something. Also, this has been like pretty good. Pretty intense shit, so it's been fun. I thrust my arm inside and under the lock, then vigorously tossed the door open. Jesus. I guess it's not hot in there. Well, it's kind of hot. It's not a fire. So, along with the muggy, warm air, the stench of death wafted out. Thump? I heard footsteps coming from behind my back. That's Miyuki. This is a bait. My heart skipped a beat. But then I couldn't hear the footsteps anymore. Who could it be? Were those the same footsteps I heard a little while ago? A chill ran down my spine. I hesitantly turned back, but then quickly grew frustrated with my cowardice and turned more vigorously. And then right there... Yeah, I knew it was a bait. It's just we know. We know that it's just the syndrome getting to him. Though one of these days, or maybe in this arc, maybe we'll get baited by thinking it's a bait when it's really a Oishi. He's all conspiracy theorist now. I found Miyuki-chan standing behind me looking surprised. Where were you? It is kind of a serious situation. We probably could have used her help. Miyuki-chan ignored my question and instead reached for the woman with her eyes closed and grabbed her by the wrist check for a pulse. Kind of a Giga-chan though. Just ignore me. Yikes. Sorry, Arakawa. It's literally your fault. If you... No, I'm joking. Honestly, we don't know when the car got there. I assume they were probably doomed. Even if you get them out, the smoke damage, like, it can kill. Even if you, like, remove them right away. I think you need, like, proper medical shit. So, yeah. But also, like, hit harder. Well, this was a fun trip. Just investigating a town for a paper and you find 3 dead bodies. I mean, it'll probably be pretty good for the paper. If you wanted to milk it, though. You know, it's kind of sad. And so, I sighed. From the start, there's no need to check for a pulse. It seemed self-evident. After all, they showed no signs of breathing. I knew from the moment I opened the door and caught a whiff of that stagnant air. Oh. Okay, smartass. Okay. To be fair, I didn't actually know that. So dying from carbon monoxide can make you look fresh. Interesting. I actually didn't know that, so I take back smartass, though it's still kind of smartass. As I'm sure he's not asking literally. The cold, dispassionate tone in her voice took me by surprise. Miyuki-chan lightly shook her head, then softly closed the door. That would be smart. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my cell phone. Suddenly, I noticed something in the corner of my line of sight and looked up. Miyuki-chan was staring intently at my cell phone. Her eyes were glaring at the phone so sharply that they could pierce right through it. Oh, are we in a dead zone? I guess we wouldn't know since there wasn't any cell phones in Higurashi. Surprised by Miyuki-chan's comment, I took a moment to return to my senses. Miyuki-chan's eyes had already returned to their usual gentle form. What was this with those eyes just now? I looked down at my phone. I didn't have a single bar of signal. Made sense, and there would be no towers since again, fucking mountain dogs destroyed those too. I'm sure they didn't fix them in the repairs or the quarantine. We were inside a deserted village in the mountains. I thought there was a chance, but of course it's impossible. As Miyuki-chan said that, somehow, her voice sounded a bit relieved. Perhaps Miyuki-chan would prefer we not contact the outside world via mobile phone. I'm sure she wants to, investigate, so waiting for the police might be rough or hamper with her plans. Hey, come on, that can't be. Sorry, bro, your dream girl has been slowly changing. I wouldn't want to say, degrading or anything. Not who you thought she might be. After all, there are 3 suicide victims right in front of us. If you know anything about suicide in this game, though, it's a little sketchy. Why would they take off the plate, too? Doesn't really make sense. Unless they just don't want to be identified after death. Though I was feeling irritated, Miyuki-chan on the other hand didn't seem to be panicking at all. People are dead, how can she be so calm about it? We don't really know what her real occupation is. Maybe she's actually into, some sort of investigation, government stuff. Maybe not high stuff, like her father, investigating on a higher level than police. Ooh, it's a nice place. I mean, it shouldn't work because, again, they probably didn't repair phone lines, but it's smart, I guess. I don't know why it would work. I just all the phone. There's just no power to the village, right? Or there shouldn't be. But we saw a light, so. I don't know, dude. It's on top of a hill. It's the shrine. Good old shrine. See how it's looking? The gap was too narrow for the car to fit through, so we had to advance on foot. Miyuki-chan walked past the suicide party's car and continued down the narrow road without hesitation. She was walking toward the town at a steady pace. I lightly jogged to catch up with Miyuki-chan, then felt a bit uneasy as I asked her a question. That is truthful. That's odd. How would Miyuki-chan know the precise location of a local assembly hall? And more importantly, what are the chances we'd find a working phone inside the village abandoned for over 20 years? I wonder if, maybe this was also made in the mind that you might not remember who Miyuki is. It's possible, because she was only, mentioned, once in Himitsubushi. I just know Miyuki. From Himitsubushi, but also from playing Mei a bit, so she's kind of more ingrained in my mind. Because they don't use Akasaka in the name too, so maybe that's also a factor to this. Because we already know, well, we don't know the answers, but we can infer on why she has this information and stuff, probably from Akasaka's research. But yeah, I wonder if that's like an angle. Some people went into this and they're like, oh my god, I just realized it's Atasa's daughter. Or something like that. When they reveal it. And more importantly, what are the chances we'd find a working phone inside a village abandoned for over 20 years? I didn't even think of that. Well, I thought of that, but I didn't realize that maybe Miyuki just wanted to check out the shrine. I mean, that would be an important place, because that's, I'm sure Atasata heavily talked about that place where, with the Rika encounter, right, in his research. Miyuki-chan claims she never had been to Hinamizawa before, and yet she's navigating the forts and bends in the road without even a moment of hesitation. It's as if she knows all the roads in this village by heart. She's just built different. I felt a slight pain in my chest. I suddenly stole a quick glance at Miyuki-chan's expression. However, I failed to discern anything from the calm look on her face. Chapter break? Holy shit. I'm surprised. They didn't do chapter breaks at all last Did they? Actually, yeah, they did. I'm just tripping. But that's the first one in this whole arc, so we'd have to, like, put all the other episodes together. Oh my god, it's an actual chapter break, not just a pause. Wow, first time for everything. Well, that's actually a great time to stop then. I was planning on doing a little more, but if they're gonna officially stop, then it's fine. But yeah, the next couple episodes are gonna be like this until my throat and nose is better from COVID. And I'm still gonna record, but we'll see. Hopefully I don't sound too stuffed. To Hinamizawa. Do a little tip first. Yo! New CG just dropped? Or new background, I should say. Gotta look at this. Who puts their pencils like that? It's actually smart. I actually used to do that in elementary school. Mishima. Oh, this is the editor that our boy thinks Miyuki was dating or something. Hi? I looked up from the evening tabloid I had picked up from the convenience store and turned back. The voice came from a colleague of mine, Mishima, in the sports department. Seattle? Jeez. I don't even know what that is. Probably not a good replacement for Seattle. Oh! Excuse me? Oh, I read that wrong. I thought he meant he went to Yoshimura instead of Seattle. But no, that's sent someone else. That's smart. I was actually more concerned about Yoshimura's interviewing ability than his language skills. If he just goes through the list of questions top to bottom, we won't get to hear any interesting material. Although, with sports articles, you can get a decent amount of traction just from dropping the names and photos of famous players. I haven't yet become desperate enough to request a position like that, but I'm envious. Is that true? I don't know, that sounds kind of like sports magazine slander. But it makes sense, right? Even though magazines have slowly been dwindling, you know, people still buy them. I feel like the most popular ones, or at least the ones I always see, are like celebrity gossip stuff. So maybe if you do just, you know, our sports magazine has I don't know any sports people. It has, but yeah, just like something like that. Jeez, that was not a good bit. Like I thought of a couple of sports names, but I'm like, wait, he passed away. Wait, he's like a bad person, so I just shut my mouth. Um, but yeah, it made sense. I don't know. I feel like I would never buy a magazine though nowadays, unless it's like a specific one for a certain topic, which I guess sports is. But like, I feel like if I was like interested in like carpentry, I'd probably buy like a carpentry magazine or something. I don't know. Anyways, it literally doesn't matter. Osaka. Kamada. Kamada! Holy, I was like, Kamada, that's a nice name. It's our boy! Koshin superstar ace pitcher Kamada? Dude, Kamada gets mentioned before Takano? Based? Okay, that's cool to see. Did a little update on our boy Kamada. He actually is a successful pitcher. You'll love to see it. Oh, the Kamada haters, take that. Your favorite kid is probably dead. Or my boy Kamada's up close to his 200th win. Hell yeah. The blazing fastball pitcher of tragedy. What does that even mean? I wonder if that's in reference to just his playstyle or because, you know, he was right next to Hinamizawa. Okay, no. It's just pitching style. Honestly, if they named it Tragedy from Hinamizawa, that's actually just kind of a fucked up name. Probably wouldn't fly. Hell yeah. Oh, the lead-in to get us to go with Miyuki. Anyway, this guy was the one who went through my numerous occult materials and boiled them down to the most interesting topics. Plus, he contributed some topics he found on the net from time to time, even some material I didn't know myself. So there's no point feeling worn out by good news now. Uh-oh, lore? 1983. Poisonous volcanic gas emerged from the swamp near a remote village in the Chubu district, killing over 2,000 villagers overnight, and it came to be known as the Great Hinamizawa Disaster. Not only was that an incredible shock, but one after another, former residents of Hinamizawa began dying in strange incidents. People committing murder-suicides against their entire families. People committing murder-suicides against strangers and acquaintances. In all cases, the people these heinous acts were otherwise normal people living peaceful lives. And so, discrimination against people from Hinamizawa developed into a serious social conflict, significant enough that the national government had to step in. It's kind of fucked up, but it is a very freaky situation. And all the people involved in those incidents said the exact same thing. This wasn't a natural disaster. It was the curse of Hanyu-sama. And they weren't all just reckless, baseless rumors spread by total strangers. In fact, my father also. Nice. Aliens. For example, the gas disaster was a government conspiracy. Good troll. The village was blockaded to conceal an alien invasion. Also good. Good troll. Both kinda true. The government's thing's actually just true. This one's, you know, it's not an invasion. It's just a Hanyu. I guess Furude. Part alien. Not one of them had any concrete evidence. Get it? Concrete? Baseless speculation, but even so, that didn't stop the cult rumors regarding Hinamizawa from piling up.
なかなかに信憑性がありましてね。オカルト説を支持する俺としては、ぜひともその真偽を確かめてみるべきかと思ってます。
へえ。って確かめるって。
Oh.
まさかお前。
I thought he was initiating, but... Or maybe, I guess he just sees it as a chance, you know? If he's going to Hinamiza anyways, just send Mewtwo. There it was at last. Then Mishima-san noticed the knapsack lying at the base of my desk and gave me an uneasy look. I just, yeah, it's not like, he's a freelancer, it's not like he needs permission. Excuse me. I understood why Mishima-san was so surprised. I was planning to head there in June to work on my article, so he must have immediately thought, that's dangerous, the disaster happened in June. It's definitely bad juju. I mean, to be fair, that is kind of spooky.
幽霊を信じないってたった今言った三島さんらしくもない。それにオカルトのネタを求めるライターとしては一番何かありそうな時に行くのが正しいジャーナリズムのあり方だと思いますがね。
まあそうだけどさ。
とりあえずちゃんとデスク経由で編集長の了解。
Oh, I guess he does need approval? I thought he was freelance, but I guess if you're working like contracted work with an agency, the expensive stuff, expenses and stuff would be like a good benefit to like remain exclusive is what I was trying to look for. If that's how it works, I don't know. Oh, don't joke about that. But that is a great backup plan. See ya, nerd. Mishima-san waved his arms in panic as he watched me head out of the editorial department. Although the gas disaster killed over 2,000 villagers, it was the over 20-year blockade of Hinamizawa village that turned it into a ghost town. It was just as Mishima-san said. I honestly had my doubts that any ghost would actually appear. But there still may be things worth investigating about this ghost town. And there might even be some paranormal phenomenon at play, and I simply couldn't grasp using the data I've gathered thus far. But considering there's multiple bad endings, like I don't know what bad endings are, but I'm assuming they die somehow, so it can really go bad. Unless it's like just quote-unquote bad endings where they just don't find what they're looking for and they have to go home defeated. That could happen too. But pretty sure in every bad ending in Higurashi so far, which is 3, there was a lot of death. Come to think of it, I did hear that demons lived in Hinamizawa in ancient times. With that in mind, nothing else would surprise me. The next moment, the cell phone in my back pocket on my jeans started to ring. When I looked at the screen, I found the call was from the editor-in-chief of the Weekly 7, who was out all day today. That's unusual. The editor-in-chief doesn't usually contact me directly. Oh, was this not the Mewtwo guy? I guess not. Whoopsie. I confused them. Confused the names. I swear it starts with an H too, then. Okay, good. It also padded time. I feel like a lot of the time this session was banter, but I feel like banter's a good part of it. It's my style now. I mean, we were pretty banterful back in OG Higurashi. Put a little spice here. Bow. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and like I said, we should be back to our 2 videos a week next episode, or next week. Yeah. I don't think I'll be fully healed because I probably will still record more videos this upcoming week. Even though I'm sick, just because I want to get back to schedule, I need a backlog, right? I need to create a backlog, so yeah. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Pretty intense episode. Lots happened. A little spook, a little death, a little meme action. It's what I like to see from Higurashi. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't subbed, please sub. Consider liking if you liked. And yeah, until then, peace.